Hi, I'm James Harvey. I'm a course tutor on the Performing Arts Acting course here at York College and course leader for the A-Level Drama and Theatre Studies. Today we've been working through student monologues and we've been working with a few different ideas that we'd like you to kind of try and observe our students working today and then apply some of these ideas to your own monologues or your own acting work at home. So today we've been looking a little bit about using the Stanislavskian idea, the magic if. So taking an idea, a memory that you've had that is similar in emotional tone to the experience of the character you're working with, and applying that memory, those emotions, to the new imagined circumstances of the play. And we've also been running these monologues and looking at what words are really significant in unlocking the emotional impact the character is trying to convey in the monologue. So first of all we're going to have Luke, and he's going to be doing his Caliban monologue, and I'm going to be off camera just giving him a little bit of advice. So, as I say, watch along with Luke and then try and apply some of these ideas to your own monologues. Alright, Luke.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his wheeze hand with thy knife. But remember to first possess his books, for without them he is but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. Oh, they all do hate him, as rootedly as I burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which, when he has a house, he'll deck with all. And that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her nonpareil. I never saw a woman but Sycorax, my dam, and her, but she, oh, she far surpasseth Sycorax, as great does least.
Good, well done, Luke. Right, let's go to the top then. So how are you using any sort of emotional memory, sensory memory to find a route into the character?
Well, Caliban is very desperate in the monologue, so I just look back to a point where I was really desperate and kind of imagined how, in that scenario where it's so much more heightened because it's his freedom at stake, how I would react, because he's very excited when he goes off about the numerous ways to kill Prospero, and he gets very excitable about it, and when you're desperate and there's that glimmer of hope, you get very excited.
Yeah, and how is that sense of excitement impacting you physically and physiologically? What's happening in your body when you're accessing that kind of memory?
I'm starting to be a lot lighter on my feet, moving a lot faster, and having much more of a kind of a pant, like I'm controlling my breath, but it's running out a lot quicker because the excitement is like forcing the breath out of me.
What do you think he's most excited about?
The idea that he'll get his freedom.
His freedom, yeah, okay. Right, let's go again. Let's work with those ideas. Let's emphasise them even more then, okay? So, and this is obviously alongside your Caliban physicality that you're working on, which, as you said to me earlier, is how you're trying to develop something a bit more animalistic. Yeah. But let's work with pushing that pace even more. In the forefront of your mind, all of these ideas are leading to this potential freedom, which has been forbidden you for years now. The character, of course, is kind of a slave. Yeah. All right. So let's go again. Give yourself a moment just to regain that connection, that feeling, like you said, of desperation but excitement about the freedom. Focus in on the idea of you're gonna get your freedom.
Okay.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am. Nor hath not one spirit to command. Oh, they all do hate him.
Let's stop there. Yeah, so what's changed?
He's much faster. I wanted to get the words out quicker because I wanted my freedom as quickly as possible. So I was trying to say.
So there's an urgency to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think adding that made him appear a little bit more sympathetic to me as well. Like he wasn't. You didn't play him quite so much like he was relishing the death that was going to happen. It was more about, as we said earlier, it's more about getting that freedom as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Did you prefer anything this way?
Yeah. My movement was a lot more. I was thinking about my movement less, in that I wasn't overthinking it. I was kind of just like I still had purpose when I was moving, but it was more fast-paced and an instinctive thing.
It sounds like what you're saying is because you had a very definite motivation or intention, which is to get your freedom. Everything else was a tactic, but at the forefront of your mind was I want to get my freedom, and so you felt less like you were following a certain choreography and were allowing it to be a bit more instinctive.
Yeah.
Does that feel right?
I felt like the objective was way further in the future, and my character was coming up with how he could get to that on the spot. And made it much more frantic.
Good, yeah, okay. Let's go back and let's just do that line by line. Let's see if we can find any words, maybe you've already hit them, but let's see if there are any words that we're missing the significance of.
Yeah, okay.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him.
Okay, let's go back. So as I told thee, 'tis a custom for him in the afternoon to sleep. What's the most significant word in that?
Words like I, because I've said it before.
If it's because you've said it before, probably told, isn't it? I've told you this again and again. The active, or in this case, inactive word is sleep. If you're saying he's sleeping, that's an invitation for them to go and kill him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasise that more.
I think so, like, and that's where your excitement lies, because this is the opportunity. So if you're thinking about him being asleep is the opportunity to get what you want.
Okay.
That's where the excitement might be. Try that for that.
Yeah.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull.
Okay, yeah, good. Really getting the excitement about him being asleep, so there's an opportunity to brain him.
Yeah.
Really getting the excitement about using a log, not picking up on the significance of the books. That feels like there's not a lot of attention being paid. Why are the books so important?
He uses them to command the spirits like Ariel on the island, so it's where his power comes from.
Where his power comes from. So if he can make as many plans as he wants, if he doesn't get those books away from Prospero, then it's going to come to nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it feels like maybe the importance of getting those books needs to be stated a bit more clearly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or, with a log, batter his skull.
Go back, Luke. Really make an effort to make having first seized his books be vitally important.
Okay.
Maybe try having that thought just drop in there to you. So it's keeping it really fresh.
Okay.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. But remember to first possess his books, for without them he is but a sot. As I am, nor hath not one spirit to command.
Really good, really good. What changed there for you?
It made my plan much more urgent, and it made Prospero seem like much more of a threat. Because before I was just saying how we could kill him, but when you emphasise the fact that you need to seize the books, it makes it seem like he's more of a threat.
Yeah.
We have to take care of this first before we can do anything.
Without the significance on the books, he's just a potential victim.
Yeah.
With the significance on the books, his status is elevated so that there's more of a risk involved for you, isn't there?
Yeah.
So there's more chance of it going wrong, more at stake. Yeah, good. Okay, so we'll run it again and really be playing with throughout that idea. Anytime you're thinking about Prospero, particularly the books, but I think you're onto something there. Anytime you're talking about Prospero, really elevate his status. He is your captor. He does kind of command everything that goes on this island since he's stolen it.
Yeah.
So let's play with the comparative status a little bit. And I think that's key in sot. What do you mean when you say he is a sot, as am I?
Useless, powerless, has no power.
I really like what you're doing with the realisation. You say it about him and then you realise that's all I am. And I think you could maybe be even clearer about that recognition that you are and have always been since Prospero's arrived.
Okay.
Just this sot.
Okay.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Then thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. But remember to first possess his books, for without them he is but a sot as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. Oh, they all do hate him, as rootedly as I. Burn but his books!
Well done, Luke. Really good. Alright, baby, so what speech are you doing now?
It's from my boy Jack.
Okay, nice and loud. So, we talked earlier about you trying to find a specific way into this speech in terms of experience, the connection that you might have using that experience of something that's happened to you that is not exactly the same circumstances as the speech, but has a similar idea behind it, and you've been thinking about that. So, are you able to just connect with that idea?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right, have a little go. And the context of the speech, just for people watching, is?
Basically, just before, her objective is to try and tell her dad that the reason his son went to war was because of him. Basically, he made his son go to war, and she's trying to get that point across to her dad.
And your character is?
Eloise.
Who's the sister of the
Sister
boy
of the-
who died in the
Yeah.
war?
You've missed the point, though! Haven't you? God, a damn about your cause. You know the reason he went to France? The reason he went to get his head shot off was to get away from us. He couldn't bear us anymore. The suffocation, the love, the expectation. No, that's why you went. You to escape this dark, depressing house, to be rid of us. To be rid of home. So, what does that do to your theories, Father? Is that reason enough to fight? Is that an honourable sacrifice, a fair exchange? Is it? Is it?
Great. Okay. Good. Right. How did that feel?
Better than last time I did it.
Why?
Because I was able to have a slight connection with something that, yeah, I had.
Okay, so we've used this magic if idea that you go and find something that is an analogy, analogous to an experience that is taking place within the play. So Baby definitely hasn't had her brother be forced to go off to war by her father and have his head blown off, but she may have felt pressurized to do something that she didn't want to do. So we've looked at taking those circumstances of her own, really trying to feel your way into them and what that felt like, and then applying those real, truthful circumstances into this new imagined set of circumstances. But now I want to look at the text a little bit. So I'd like to go line by line and think about where the real heart of each line is, what word might need a greater focus on it from the actor. So if we can just go, you get back into the moment and do that first line, and we'll just take them apart line by line.
You've missed the point though! Haven't you?
Okay. You've missed the points though, haven't you? Mm-hmm. So what are you trying to say to your dad at this point?
That he's not understanding why, that he's the reason why
he's
pushed his son to go.
He is the reason.
He's the reason, yeah.
And where does that feel like it's most present in that line? You've missed the point.
Or missed or point.
Let's try point, because the point is the heart of the matter, isn't it? That's what you're saying. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So let's try emphasising the point and really attacking that word, because that is your statement to your dad that the point is that he's at fault.
You've missed the point though! Haven't you?
Alright, good. How'd that feel?
Better, I think. Yeah. Different.
Different?
Yeah.
Better? Let's make sure we're energising that word point, as you did, but then not lose the energy towards the end of the statement. So although that might be the heart of the statement, haven't you doesn't become purposeless. So we're going to have the heart of the statement still be the point, because that's what you really want to get across to him. That's the impact you want to have. But don't lose your energy and your voice on those last couple of words. Alright, let's try that, and then we'll go on to the next line.
You've missed the point though! Haven't you?
Good, yeah. Let's go on to the next line.
God, you just... You've no idea! Have you?
Okay, God, you've no idea, have you? When you say you've just, and it doesn't lead anywhere, what do you think that might indicate about what she's trying to do to her dad? Or what she wants from him?
Him to speak back? Or I thought it'd be she's going to say something and she doesn't want to regret it, so she kind of says something else.
Alright, so what's she going to say?
Something worse?
Let's try thinking about something specific. What might she be going to say that she has to hold back on?
blatantly blames him, like instead of going around like.
Okay, so find the words.
And you realise he was fine with having you. You just don't get you're the root.
No, you just don't get you're the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. And you fully intend to say that in the moment, and then you have to physically stop yourself. Maybe there's a physical gesture that you can kind of find that will actually hold yourself back there.
Mm-hmm.
But as you start saying that line, be about to tell him, lay it on the line to him, you are the reason.
Shall I go from
If it helps to go from the top, yeah.
You've missed the point though! Haven't you? God, you just don't get... You've just no idea! Have you?
Good. And where's the frustration and you've got no idea?
No idea.
No idea, isn't it? Yeah, because it's not like he's kind of coming to terms with the fact that he might be at fault here.
Mm-hmm.
You're frustrated because he just will not accept any responsibility. And to you, it's staring you in the face that he's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So let's really find that this time as well. Yeah.
You missed the point though! Haven't you? God, you've no idea, have you?
Really good, baby. What do you notice about you've no idea, have you, that time? Do you notice anything different?
It was more, she was more like angry, or her emotions got a bit more honest.
Yeah, they did. What I noticed was that there wasn't a little pause or a drop-off of intensity when you said, have you? So previously it was like, you've no idea. Have you? Yeah. And again, it was just like the thought was dropping a little bit at the end, but this time there wasn't any pause. You made it a fluent thought. You've no idea, have you? And that connected the thought. It became a genuine question rather than a kind of half-hearted rhetorical question at the end of the statement. All right, good. Let's do the next line.
Don't you realise you didn't give a damn about your cause?
That's a really big statement to make to this dad who passionately believes in that cause of going to war, isn't it? So don't you realise you didn't give a damn about your cause? What do you want to get across to him? What do you want to make him do?
Feel guilty.
And how's he going to feel guilty? Yeah, and listen to her.
Yeah.
So what word in that line is most
Damn.
key?
Don't you realise he didn't give a damn about your cause? Damn your cause.
Yeah, damn is quite forceful. There's another word that I think is really important to...
Realise?
It's realise, isn't it? Why is it realise?
Because he's not realising.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of obvious, but we shouldn't be afraid of the obvious statement. You know, that is the heart of the statement. Don't you realise that? Wake up, you might as well be saying. You know, just wake up, you stubborn old man. You know, that idea can be placed within that line. Realise really effectively, and then you want to emphasise damn to show how little he cared about the cause. And why is your important?
Because it's him.
It's his cause.
He's the reason.
As opposed to whose cause?
His own.
It's the dad's cause. As opposed to whose cause?
The Jack's.
Jack's cause, yeah. So that's where you really lay home the guilt, isn't it? By emphasising you're pinning the responsibility to your dad, saying, my brother never cared about this, all he wanted to do was make you happy. So that's a lot to get into one line, but we can do it by really isolating what those key words are. Have a go at that, on just that line.
Okay. Don't you realise he didn't give a damn about your cause?
Where did you lose it?
Your cause.
Your cause, yeah, okay. Let's try again.
Don't you realise that he didn't give a damn about your cause?
How did that feel?
Better.
Yeah?
Cause felt better.
It felt like it was more, to me it felt like it was more, what's the word? It was more focused upon him, very definitely, and you were trying to get a response from him. So often in acting we neglect the idea that, especially in a monologue, that you're trying to achieve an effect from someone, you're trying to get a response from someone, you're not just speaking in a vacuum. So when you really focus on what you're trying to draw out of the other person, then it's going to really kind of clarify your motivation with saying those words.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's just run from the top, those few lines, and then you can go away and work on that that idea of really, really taking a scalpel to the meaning of individual words. Yeah, okay.
You've missed the point though! Haven't you? God, you've no idea! Have you? Don't you realise that he didn't give a damn about your cause?
Good, well done, baby.